Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. 2 years too long, time to rise above. Truth is power, fueled by love. So we'll march, we'll fight, we'll never let go until Mustafa walks free and the whole world knows. Two years in a cell, no trial, no voice. Truth buried deep, but we ain't got no choice. We got to erase them, break them apart, but we scream free Mustafa. From the soul, from the heart, they falsified the paper, twisted every word, turned a car crash to murder, like justice never heard. Dorothy and Empress, angels in the sky, now they blame a broken man while the real ones lie. A badge and a pen, that's all it took. Signed his fate with a false report and a dirty look.
Wherever the fuck you is on the other side, let's fuck that guy good. Follow him to the hotel.
Loud through the chains, justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement. Exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. Amy Ashworth, playing judge and the jury in a county so dirty, soaked in fury. Police and the courts all in on the plot. They framed an innocent man and left his soul to rot. But his family's out marching, banners held high, while supporters flood timelines, refusing to lie. They want silence, we give them the storm. Truth blazing through, like justice reborn. Every post, every chant, every sleepless night is a spark in the dark that's ready to ignite. This ain't just a song, it's a battle cry for every soul locked up while the guilty lie. We free Mustafa, loud through the chains, justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. 2 years too long, time to rise above. Truth is power when fueled by love. So we'll march, we'll fight, we'll never let go until Mustafa walks free and the whole world knows. Two years in a cell, no trial, no voice. Truth buried deep, but we ain't got no choice. They tried to erase them, break them apart, but we scream free Mustafa. From the soul, from the heart, they falsified the paper, twisted every word, turned a car crash to murder, like justice never heard. Dorothy and Empress, angels in the sky, now they blame a broken man while the real ones lie. A badge and a pen, that's all it took. Signed his fate with a false report.
Wherever the fuck you is on the other side, let's fuck that guy good. Follow him to the hotel.
Loud through the chains, justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Give truth light, let the innocent fly. Amy Ashworth, playing judge and the jury in a county so dirty, soaked in fury. Police and the courts all in on the plot. They framed an innocent man and soul to rot, but his family's out marching, banners held high, While supporters flood timelines, refusing to lie. They want silence, we give them the storm. Truth blazing through like justice reborn. Every post, every chant, every sleepless night is a spark in the dark that's ready to ignite. This ain't just a song, it's a battle cry for every soul locked up while the guilty lie. We free Mustafa, loud through the chains. Justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game. Trump and Cash, hear our cry. Bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. 2 years too long, time to rise above. Truth is power when fueled by love. So we'll march, we'll fight, we'll never let go until Mustafa walks free and the whole world knows. Two years in a cell, no trial, no voice. Truth buried deep, but we ain't got no choice. They tried to erase him, break him apart, but we scream free Mustafa from the soul, from the heart. They falsified the paper, twisted every word, turned a car crash to murder, like justice never heard. Dorothy and Empress, angels in the sky. Now they blame a broken man while the real ones lie. A badge and a pen, that's all it took. Sign his fate with a false report.
This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer, you're under the microscope. Before we dive into the Mustafa Al-Jazari case, I want to thank Dr. Talar. Dr. Talar is joining us on this podcast. Dr. Talar, how are you, sir? We are happy to have you here. حبيبي الله يسلمك دكتور على راسي انت الله يسلمك حياك الله دكتور. I want to thank Farah. I want to thank Casey, Farah and Casey and everybody that's joining us. A lot of people have been following this case for a long time, over a year and a half. The case of Mustafa Al-Jazari. Mustafa Al-Jazari has been held in a county jail. They suspended the Commonwealth attorney, suspended the preliminary hearing. No preliminary hearing. I wonder why, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, that you suspended the preliminary hearing. Is it possible that you have fake witnesses that manufactured probable cause? We have the whole file. We're going to dive into it. You have police officer that falsified the police reports. We're going to dive into it. Mustafa Al-Jazari has been held in a county jail without a trial. We have a situation where the Commonwealth attorney is terrified to take Mustafa to trial. Is terrified to put his evidence on the record. What is the Mustafa Al-Jazari file? The Mustafa Al-Jazari file is a vehicle accident where he lost his family in a vehicle accident. Every piece of evidence show that this is a vehicle accident. Every piece of evidence showed this is a vehicle accident. Dr. Talar, كل ملف بالملف مع مصطفى، كل فايل، كل ورقة، كل الدليل انه يدل انه هذا حادث مع السيارة. هم دكتور من شنو خايفين هسه؟ Why are they so terrified? I mean, in court, the prosecutor gets up and says the brother of Mustafa Al-Jazari has the whole file. And he's leaking it on the internet. Wait a minute. Prosecutor, if you have nothing to hide, then you should not be scared that the brother of Mustafa Al-Jazari is leaking the file on the internet. What do you have to hide? دكتور من شنو المدعي العام خايف انه توقف بالمحكمه ويقول للقاضي الاخو مات مصطفى عند الملف وده يحطه على الانترنت. اكو مدعي عام يخاف من انت تقولين هو سوى حادث عمدا. ايش خايفه؟ الادله طلعا. انا ما شايف مدعي عام يخاف انه الملف رح يطلع على الانترنت. I've yet to see a case where the prosecutor is terrified that the evidence is going to be leaked on the internet. I mean, wait a minute. Aren't you screaming that he's a monster in court? Well, if he's a monster, then if I release the evidence on the internet, it's going to show that he's a monster. Wait a minute. Oh, it's going to show that you have been lying about Mustafa for the past 2 years. This is not a situation where a brother comes on the internet and tell you, I love my brother. My brother is a wonderful human being. This is not the case. This is a case where I have the file and I have evidence to show that this is a vehicle accident and they falsified his police report. I'm not sitting here telling you my brother is because my brother, you should believe me. No, absolutely not. I tell you every time you get on this podcast that do not take my word for it. I have evidence that showed this is a vehicle accident. That Mustafa lost his family in a vehicle accident. Every piece of evidence shows it's a vehicle accident. But when you go to the prosecutor tells you, you should take her word for it. She's not going to give you any evidence. She's not going to give you any document. She's not going to give you any body cam. She's not going to release to you the dash camera inside his vehicle. This is his dash camera. A dash camera that he's had since 2018. Wait a minute. Why does he have a dash camera? Oh, that's right. He was suing the police. Because in 2018, he filed a lawsuit against the police department for violating his rights. And this lawsuit dragged from 2018 all the way to the day of the vehicle accident. And his lawyer at the time told him, Mustafa, you're suing the police department. Make sure you protect yourself because you're going to get harassed. And Mustafa got a dash camera to make sure that he does not get harassed. And harassed he did. The prosecutor tells you she's not going to give you any piece of evidence, that you should take her word for it because she's a Commonwealth attorney. Well, I tell you, you do not have to take my word for it. Do not take my word for it. Every time I get on this podcast, I remind everybody that what I have is evidence that showed this is a vehicle accident, and I'm releasing it on the internet. I have stolen the file that they have sealed. The county sealed the file. I reached into their pocket and I took the file from them. And there's nothing they can do about it. As a matter of fact, I just came back from federal court today. Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, are you listening? Are you listening, ma'am? Came back from federal court and I filed an amicus brief into the injunction that Elaine Jarvis has filed against me in Warren County Circuit Court. And apparently she put it in federal court. And I filed an amicus brief with evidence that show that she lied. An officer of the court, this is a beautiful document from federal court. I filed 29 gigabyte of evidence that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth's lawyer, the lawyer that she sent after me to put a gag order on me. Essentially, that's what she's doing. She wants to put a gag order. She wants to shut me up. I filed in federal court that your lawyer is not going to be able to, has lied. And she's not going to be able to do your bidding. Let me explain what's happening, because a lot of people that have not been tracking what is going on can be lost. I mean, there's a lot of details. They beat Mustafa inside the jail. And this is a CCTV video from inside the jail. What they've done is they falsified Mustafa's police reports. This investigator, the main investigator, Robert Drum, falsified Mustafa's statements. We have a recording of the conversation between Mustafa and the investigator. And Mustafa never said what this investigator claimed that he told him. This investigator falsified the police report, flat out falsified the police report. This investigator says, you told me you were arguing inside the vehicle, Mustafa. Wait a minute. We have a recording of the conversation. Mustafa never said that. This investigator flat out falsified the police reports and said, you told me you were arguing inside the vehicle. The problem for this investigator is there is a recording. We took to Internal Affairs, and Internal Affairs found out that this investigator lied. And NBC4 reported on it.
On 4 tonight, there are new questions being raised in the case of a man charged with murder for a crash that killed his girlfriend and her 5-year-old daughter last year.
They come after Prince William's police chief ruled the investigating officer had violated department policy. Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey spoke to the driver's defense attorney about why he thinks the finding casts doubt on the case.
Mustafa Al-Jazeera has been behind bars.
Of course, it casts doubt on the whole entire case. The whole foundation of the case is this investigator is claiming there's an argument inside the case, inside the vehicle. Mustafa got involved in a vehicle accident. Every piece of evidence showed this is a vehicle accident. This investigator comes out and he falsified the police report. And he says, you told me you were arguing inside the vehicle. Now, mind you, Mustafa has a dash camera inside his vehicle to show there was no argument and this is a vehicle accident. Mustafa did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident. The fact of this case is there's a computer inside the vehicle that shows Mustafa's foot is on the brake the whole entire time. The police mechanic inspect the vehicle, and on a police body cam, find out brake failure. This is a police body cam.
Brake didn't engage.
Brake did not engage. 2 of Mustafa's caliper did not work. The front passenger, the back passenger did not work. The only 2 calipers that work is the front driver and the back driver. His brake did not work. He hits his foot is on the brake the whole entire time. That's what the computer inside the vehicle show. I have the document. I posted the document. Now, the investigator claimed there are no brake marks from Mustafa's vehicle. But on a police body cam, pictures that this investigator took, you can see Mustafa's brake marks. From those 2 calipers, you can see Mustafa brake marks. But this investigator, they seal off the file, and the investigator comes out and says, there's no brake marks. Why do you think they're so terrified now? Because I have the file, and I'm leaking documents that show they've lied. So, the facts. Mustafa's caliper did not engage. Mustafa has brake marks from the other 2 calipers that worked. Mustafa's foot is on the brake the whole entire time. Mustafa, he attempts to pass a vehicle in front of him, takes a lane, finds himself in the wrong lane. When he tried to get back to traffic, he couldn't. There's a vehicle blocking him. There's a medium in front of him. He hits the brake, the vehicle doesn't stop. He managed to get the vehicle from 55 to 35. Now, he was going speed limit, so he was not speeding. The vehicle did not stop. On that lane, you end up in oncoming traffic. There's nowhere to go. When you end up in oncoming traffic, the prosecutor likes to tell everybody that he jerked the vehicle into oncoming traffic. That is not true. You can watch the dash camera, slow down the dash camera, and you can clearly see that he did not jerk the vehicle into oncoming traffic. No, he ended up in oncoming traffic. It was the wrong lane. Did he do everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident? Absolutely. His foot is on the brake the whole entire time. He tried to get back into traffic. His foot is on the brake the whole entire time. There is brake failure. I mean, that's what the police are inspecting the vehicle, and they're finding brake failure. Now, what did he do when he ended up in oncoming traffic? You can clearly see he avoided the first vehicle, the second vehicle, and then all of a sudden, the camera cuts off. I've never seen a dash camera. And mind you, we're talking about a Rexon dash camera, a very sophisticated dash camera. This is a $500 dash camera. Cuts off before impact. Have you seen a dash camera that cuts off before impact? I'll tell you what they've done. They cut this dash camera. They cut it before impact. Now, what I find more disturbing, and this is evidence that they cut the dash camera, is when you count the frames, because this camera is facing outward, outside the vehicle, and it's facing inside the vehicle. Now, why is it when I count the frame, there are 17 frames missing from inside the vehicle? You don't find that disturbing? You know, Casey, the camera was still attached to the windshield. So you can't tell me the dash camera was smashed, was damaged. It was still attached to the windshield. Now, I counted the frames. We're going to go to this exhibit. I made a video where I'm counting the
Hey,
frames.
prosecutor, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I just found something. Wake up, man. Wake up. So, prosecutor, you want to show that my brother did not do anything to avoid the vehicle accident and did not have a facial reaction. So what do? You cut the dash camera. Got a question for you. When they cut this dash camera, they cut the outside frame.
Now, you notice the outside frame is at 8.3 seconds, and the inside is 8.0 seconds. Now, when you count the frames, these are 17 missing frames. Now, what are they doing? What are they doing here? They're attempting to show that Mustafa did not have a facial reaction. Why do you think there are 17 frames missing from inside the vehicle? They want to tell everybody that Mustafa did not have a facial reaction. Lakeisha, how are you, ma'am? I'm so happy that you're here. Now, hold on. When you watch the dash camera, you clearly see Mustafa is reacting to this vehicle accident. I mean, what do you want him to do? Throw his hands in the air? He's controlling the vehicle. What would satisfy this police department that he's panicking and is attempting to gain control of the vehicle? He lost control of the vehicle. The brake does not work. What would satisfy this police department? Let's watch his facial reaction. I mean, is that not enough for you? His jaw is wide open. He's got his tongue sticking out of his cheeks. What reaction would satisfy this police department that he's in a panic mode? And then when you realize there are 17 frames missing from inside the camera facing inward, you realize what they're doing here. They cut the camera. They muted the camera. For 2 years, the narrative is that this dash camera does not have audio. Well, hold on. When I opened the file, I find a document that says Officer Zymus with digital forensic admit that this camera has audio. They're in possession of the audio. It's on the SD card. But what do? They get you a lip reader. So they mute the audio and get you a lip reader. That's convenient. Is that Emmanuel? Emmanuel, how are you, sir? Thank you for being here. Doing all right, brother. Hanging in there. He's staying strong. He's staying strong on the inside. We're staying strong on the outside. And this community is waiting for the federal government to do the right thing. Now, you know, it's a lot. There's a lot that's going on. The dash camera is cut. The dash camera is muted. Now we're finding out it has audio. They're in possession of the audio. There's missing frame from the dash camera. And even with all the chopping up and editing that they've done, you can still see he's reacting to the vehicle accident. What would satisfy you? I mean, I'm driving a vehicle. I find myself in a position where there is a vehicle accident. I mean, my jaw is open. Let's go back to the exhibits. My jaw is open. I'm sticking out my tongue in my cheeks. That's not enough for you? Like, I really, like, this is a valid question. That's not enough for you? What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? Throw his hands in the air? And what, call out for the Commonwealth Attorney? Help? What do you want him to say? Commonwealth Attorney, help? Like, what reaction would satisfy this police department? He's driving the vehicle. We'll get to the bottom of it. We're actively leaking all the documents on the internet. By the way, this is a sealed dash camera. They do not want you to see the dash camera. After a year and a half, they released a chopped up version of the dash camera. They released 2 seconds halfway through the dash camera, 2 seconds toward the end, pieced them together, and says, look at this monster. Well, obviously, now it looks like a monster because you took the dash camera out of context. Why not release the whole dash camera? As a matter of fact, they went as far as tell the judge, we don't want the jury to see the dash camera. We only want them to see 2 minutes and 8 seconds of this dash camera. And we'll get to why they're terrified of this dash camera. Lakeisha says the only one they airlifted from the crash exactly. Lakeisha, thank you for being here, man. Mustafa was the only one airlifted. Mustafa was in a coma. He was airlifted. Now, for the past 2 years, Mustafa sits in solitary confinement. And he tells, every time I talk to him, he tells me, why did they not airlift my family? Why didn't they lift my girlfriend, Dorothy, her 5-year-old baby, Empress? Why did they not airlift them? Why did they airlift me instead? Why couldn't they airlift my family? And he sits in solitary confinement and asks that question. Now, I find it disturbing that Officer Marghiato out of DC was the first officer that responded to this vehicle accident. And in his statement, I have a file. He said, my body cam is rolling. And he's the one that interacted with Mustafa's girlfriend, Dorothy, and 5-year-old Empress. And his body cam is on and it's rolling. And he said, I uploaded my body cam to evidence.com. Now, why is it when I log into evidence.com, when Mustafa's attorney logs into evidence.com, that body cam is nowhere to be found? Are you telling me the police department is actively deleting body cams from Mustafa's file? I'm here to tell you, yes, they're actively deleting body cams. But we're going to get to the bottom of it, because when we reach out to DC keeps their body cams in the metadata for 5 years. Even though Prince William County deleted it, We're going to get our hand on that body cam. And it's going to show why they didn't airlift Mustafa's girlfriend, Dorothy, and 5-year-old Empress. Someone made the wrong call. You know, I have individuals that tell me, well, maybe she wasn't stable. That's why they didn't airlift. Well, hold on. I have a body cam that they say that Dorothy and Empress were stable. And if they were stable, in what sense does it make sense that you're going to put, they put Empress, a 5-year-old Empress, they put her in an ambulance during rush hour to the hospital, and it's over an hour and a half. How does that make any sense? If this was your 5-year-old baby, would you not say, why did you not airlift my 5-year-old baby? Instead, you put her in an ambulance during rush hour, an hour and a half away to the hospital? That doesn't make any sense. Someone made the wrong call. And that's why the body is nowhere to be found. You're going to see what they've done to Dorothy and Empress. You're going to see Chad Mason and what he did with Mustafa's dash camera. We have evidence to believe. We have reason to believe that this investigator cut the wire on the dash camera so that he can say later, the dash camera is cut, the camera doesn't have audio, the camera doesn't. Hold on. When you watch the dash camera, you can clearly see Mustafa's hands. You can clearly see Dorothy's hands. And the dash camera cuts off before the airbag got deployed. So why did the camera cuts off? I've never seen a dash camera that cuts off by itself. I remind this community, this is a $500 dash camera. A Rexon, a very well-known brand out of Best Buy. If you were to buy a dash camera, you would go to Best Buy, and the best dash camera they've got is a $500 dash camera, and it's the Rexon. So they cut this dash camera. But we're going to get to the bottom of it. Shelly, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for being here, ma'am. Every piece of evidence showed this is a vehicle accident. Mustafa's toxicology report show no alcohol and no drugs. You can't troll this conversation. You can no longer troll this conversation. I mean, what is the Mustafa Al-Jazari file? The Mustafa Al-Jazari file is it's a vehicle accident, and he lost his own family in a vehicle accident. Now, can you charge Mustafa with manslaughter? No, you can't. You can't charge Mustafa because he was not speeding. I mean, look at the facts. The fact of this case. Can you charge him with he was not speeding? He's driving speed limit. Was he intoxicated? There's a toxicology report that shows no alcohol and no drugs. Was he reckless? We have a dash camera and it shows he was driving normal. He was not reckless. He was not speeding. He's not under the influence. Did he do everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident? Absolutely. His foot is on the brake the whole entire time. He avoided every vehicle when he ended up in oncoming traffic. The lane ends. He ends up in oncoming traffic. It's not like he jerked the vehicle. No, the lane ends. And the vehicle did not have brakes. How did they charge originally Mustafa with manslaughter? I'll tell you how. The investigator falsified Mustafa's statements. He said, you told me you were arguing inside the vehicle. Well, we have an audio recording that showed this investigator lied. Once we take this to Internal Affairs, and Internal Affairs admit they falsified the police report, that this investigator lied, within 5 days, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth increased the charge to M1. Now it's M1. Now it's premeditated. That's interesting. When you open the file, she's using fake witnesses, individuals that tell you we were not there. I mean, what more do you want to say? The individuals that Commonwealth attorney is using in this case tell you we were not there. I have the body cams. I have the transcripts. I have the evidence that show this is a vehicle accident, and Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is relying on individuals that is manufacturing probable cause. What I want to talk about today is what I found, Shelley, I found something really disturbing yesterday. Really disturbing. I mean, and it's been looking at everybody the whole entire time. Now, this prosecutor is charging Mustafa with premeditated M1. And specifically, she says Mustafa premeditated this. He had planned this out. And on that day, he forced Dorothy, his girlfriend, and 5-year-old Empress in the vehicle only to go and wreck the car intentionally. Now, what's disturbing is what's terrifying for the prosecutor is there's a Google Nest video inside the apartment that show that it was Dorothy that wanted to go that day. Dorothy is the one that's asking Mustafa, asking 5-year-old Empress, asking the kids. It was her idea. That's what the Google Nest video inside the apartment show. It wasn't Mustafa. It wasn't that Mustafa wanted to go on that. As a matter of fact, Mustafa woke up late. He had other plans, and Dorothy asked him, and he didn't want to go because he had other plans. But then he said, finally, okay, I'll take you. So how could it be premeditated? I mean, this is contradicting the narrative of the prosecutor. And that's why for the past 2 years, the prosecutor refused to look at the Google Nest videos. I've never seen a prosecutor that is avoiding evidence. She's terrified. Now, in a forensic interview, one of Dorothy's children says exactly that. He says Mustafa woke up late in the afternoon. Mom is telling him to take her. It wasn't his idea. Mom is telling him to take her. This is what the child is saying. And that's exactly what we see on the Google Nest videos. Now, Dorothy's child, 10-year-old child, and he goes into details about that day. He says that mom, around 12 o'clock, was going to get into her vehicle. And on the last minute, she had changed her mind and then went and asked Mustafa to take her. I mean, that changes everything. Because the theory for the prosecutor is this is premeditated. Now, they're painting that Mustafa is a dangerous driver, that the kids are terrified from Mustafa's driving, that Dorothy is terrified from Mustafa's driving, because the prosecutor wants to tell everybody that he's a dangerous driver. So wait a minute. If this is the scenario, then there is no way that he's a dangerous driver. I mean, Dorothy is asking him to take her. I mean, Dorothy asked her 5-year-old baby in this vehicle. If he was a dangerous driver, what mother would put her 5-year-old baby in that vehicle? And she's asking him to drive her. Wait a minute. If he's a dangerous driver, why is she asking him to drive her? Now, not only do I have the forensic interview where Javen is saying, not Javen, Imagine is saying it. No, Pharaoh is saying it. We'll play that forensic interview. I have the dash camera, and it's been, it's been looking at us the whole entire time. The whole entire time, it's been looking at everybody. Everybody got to see the dash camera, but we all missed it. Now, when you look at the dash camera, I'm going to introduce this piece of information, and we'll jump into the forensic interview, and then we'll go back to the dash camera. I mean, this is so disturbing. The prosecutor might have to invest in the company that sponsored this podcast. The company that sponsored this podcast is Depends. Depends is an adult diaper company. They are sponsoring our podcast and financing our broadcast. Without them, there's nothing. We cannot run this live. Now, I want to mention one thing about this company is the sheriff himself, according to Elaine Jarvis at not another boring law firm out in Warren County. She says that the sheriff out of Prince William County uses this company. And that should show you how reliable this company is. What I'm finding is in the dash camera, if you go to 3:14 and 30 seconds, you'll see that Javen is walking his dog from the interior dash camera. Now, the Mustafa's dash camera has an interior inside, and it shows the outside. If you go to 3:14 and 30 seconds, you'll see Javen, Dorothy's 14-year-old child, is walking the dog. If you go to 3:15 and 52 seconds, you'll see Imagine walking the dog. Now, what's unique about Javen walking the dog is because in a forensic interview, Javen sat down with the forensic psychologist with the police department, and he's telling her a completely different story. He says that in the morning, his friend had called him, and he left the apartment with his friend, only came back at night and found out about the vehicle accident. Wait a minute. We have Google Net videos that shows he was in the apartment. And when you look at Google Net videos, it's unique because you see how much this is a beautiful family. Javen loves Mustafa. Mustafa loves Javen. The other kids love Mustafa. I mean, it's a beautiful relationship. The kids love Mustafa. Mustafa loves the kids. Mustafa loves Dorothy. Dorothy loves Mustafa. It's a beautiful relationship. And this is why it's disturbing when you're watching the forensic interviews. Why is Javen lying about the details of that day? I mean, he says, I left in the morning. I have the video from the forensic interview. And he said, I came back at night. But the Google Nest video inside the apartment, it shows that he's playing with Mustafa, is asking Mustafa about advice, like horse playing with Mustafa. I mean, it's a beautiful relationship. Mustafa is like a father figure. And you can, when you watch it, you'll pick up on it. Why is Javen lying about the details of that day? Especially when I have him on a Google Nest inside the apartment with Mustafa. I have him now on a dash camera at 3:14 and 30 seconds walking the dog. I have him at 15:16 at 3:16 and 2 seconds. Okay. So I have Javen at 3 o'clock, 14 minutes, and 3 seconds, walking the dog. And he's walking past Dorothy's car. And then at 3:15 and 52 seconds, Imagine is walking right behind him. And then at 3:16, Imagine is getting the flowers from Dorothy's van. 3:16. Okay. Now, At 12:31 and 39 seconds, I have Dorothy's van door is open. That's interesting. Now, this timestamp is not on Mustafa's discovery. At 12:31 and 39 seconds is not in Mustafa's discovery. So now I'm accessing this dash camera that's not provided in the discovery. Why did they start the file in Mustafa's dash camera? And now we know there is more videos that exist in this dash camera. How did I get this timestamp? How did I get Dorothy's van door is open at 12:31? That's not in Mustafa's discovery. We reached out to Rexon, the dash camera company. And when we're cross-referencing the dash camera, this comes up. So this means that someone else is in possession of the file and have entered in this portal, this website, where it cross-reference that timestamp and it gives out Dorothy's van door is open. The door on Dorothy's van is open. Now, the only person that has this dash camera is the police department. Now, what's disturbing is one of the clips is missing. The outside, the camera is facing inward and facing outward. Around the timestamp where Javen is walking the dog, that's been deleted from Mustafa's file. The police department actively deleted it from the file. That's interesting. All the files are there, but nothing prior. Because once you go prior, you're going to see that Dorothy is getting into her van with the kids and then decides, no, I'm going to let Mustafa take me to the cemetery, to my mom's anniversary. And that's captured in Mustafa's dash camera facing inward. Because Mustafa's vehicle is parked in a way where Dorothy's van is behind her. And then from the camera, you can see Dorothy's van. And once you capture that, the prosecutor narrative theory falls apart that this is premeditated, M1. Because how could it be premeditated? How could it be M1 if Dorothy is the one that's asking Mustafa to take her that day to the anniversary? I mean, this is so disturbing on so many levels that you have a whole entire police department. It's so detailed in what they're doing that they're actively cherry picking evidence, deleting evidence. I mean, when you take a step back and look at this case, do you not find it convenient that wherever there is a break, it's missing? The audio, conveniently missing. The dash camera, conveniently cut. They say Mustafa is a horrible driver. Wait a minute. Don't we have Robert Drum on a sealed body cam admit that Mustafa was door dashing with Dorothy the day before and the day before that and the day before that? So why not put that on the record to show Mustafa's driving? Conveniently, that's not on the record. But it's there. It's on the SD card. But they don't want anybody to touch it. By law, by the way, by law, you can hire an independent expert to go in and download the whole entire thing with the audio. And we're going to get to it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. For 2 years, they blocked our effort to put the evidence on the record. Musculo, that's a very good question, ma'am. That's a very good question. You know, I'll tell you, it's one thing for me to answer that question. It's another when I reach out to the attorney that represented Mustafa in his lawsuit against the police that took from 2018 all the way to the day of the accident. Because I reached out to that lawyer and I told him, sir, what are they doing to my brother? I told him they beat Mustafa inside the jail. They falsified his police report. And this is what he tells me. We'll go over to the exhibits on YouTube.
The investigator that wrote the report, he lied on the report. We recorded that conversation.
حبيبي الله يسلمك.
Yes, sir.
الطريقة كلش حلوة. الله يسلمك.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear what he said? They beat your brother. They falsified his police report. I have no doubt because he sued the police. The community doesn't know. This community does not know. I mean, when you're looking at this case, look, why are they doing this to you? I have the same question. But when I ask the lawyer, he gives me an answer. I mean, this is what they've done to Mustafa.
He lied on the report.
I mean, we have evidence that they falsified Mustafa's statements. And by the way, this is the foundation of the case. He says, you told me you were arguing inside the vehicle. When we're talking about Mustafa's evidence, 6 giant correctional officers enter Mustafa's cell. This is 6 giant correctional officers enter Mustafa's cell only to take out an unconscious Mustafa. They beat him. They take him out half naked. They take him out half naked, unconscious. I mean, he's completely limped over. His feet is not even touching the ground. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. I mean, what justifies this? He's a pre-trial detainee, have not had his day in court. Every piece of evidence. We're on the outside screaming that they falsified his police reports. And then you have 6 giant correctional officers enter Mustafa's cell and they take him out half naked. I mean, this is Mustafa handcuffed behind his back, half naked, and he's completely unconscious. He's limped over. I mean, you can see he's limped over and his feet is not even touching the ground. He's handcuffed behind his back, half naked, limped over. What justifies 6 giant correctional officers entering his cell and take him out? And then I have individuals that I can only chalk up under that they're county moles. No one looks at that video and justifies this. No one. There's no justification that you're a pre-trial detainee waiting for your day in court, and next thing you know, you have 6 giant correctional officers only to beat you, take you out unconscious. Nothing justifies this. And then he's still hitting him on the head. He hits him on the head, he kicks him, and then he drags him unconscious down the stairs. His feet is barely touching the ground. You can see that his feet is being airlifted. His feet is being airlifted to the other cell. And then they take him into another cell, strip him completely naked, beat him, abuse him, then deny him medical. And at the time, this is May 24, 2023. We were not allowed to see Mustafa. And when we finally get... نعم أستاذ الله يسلمك دكتور. No, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it like this. It's better. So that way it's easier to. I think it's better. When we finally got to see Mustafa, this is how we saw Mustafa. The condition that Mustafa was in. His head has bumps all over his heads. This is Mustafa's head. His head has bumps all through it. His arm is 3 times the size of a normal arm. And you can't tell me another inmate had beaten up Mustafa, because this is a solitary confined inmate. The only individuals that has access to Mustafa is the correctional officers. They beat Mustafa. They abused him. It's on a CCTV video. They can't hide and gaslight you that nothing happened. Now, what I find disturbing, and this is what I find disturbing, when I post this video, you have individuals that will come to you and tell you, my brother is a correctional officer. What is that one comment? There's a comment on here. And this person tells me, let's go over to the exhibits. I don't know if you guys can see this. That's okay. We'll just talk about it. There's a comment on here. It says he's not unconscious. He's clearly walking with side steps. And they did what's protocol for combative convicts. First of all, he's not a convict. He's a pretrial detainee that sit in a county jail, and every police report is falsified. He's waiting for his day in court. Combative. She says combative. First of all, when you read the internal notes, no one said that he's combative. No one said that he's fighting the correctional officers. That's not what they're saying. As a matter of fact, they lied about the details. They said only 3 correctional officers were at this cell. We see 6 correctional officers. And they take him out unconscious, ma'am. I mean, what entails unconscious for you? Limped over the way he is, that's not good enough for you? Oh, you want him unalived. That's what you want. Oh, he's walking. Oh, but he has 2 giant correctional officers airlifting him. You know, I can only chalk up this. I mean, what is that? My brother is a correctional officer. Okay, so your brother is a correctional officer. What are you, some kind of expert on situations inside the jail all of a sudden? Oh, you're a guru at county jails. Lady, go find somewhere else to waste your time. You know, I'll tell you this comment. You know, I love, before we have this video, how they used to troll the conversation for the county jail. And they tell you nothing happened to your brother. Your brother is imagining. I mean, isn't that what they said? Well, now we have the CCTV video. And I guess, according to Jackoff here, It's not good enough for her. For her to give any sort of sympathy, she wants him completely unalived. Well, not on this community's watch, ma'am. Because people like you is what's actually disgusting with our community. That when you're looking at a case where he lost his own family in a vehicle accident, and you're watching police reports leak that this is a vehicle accident, you're protecting the individuals that falsified and abused. But that's okay, because to be honest with you, I guess we're hitting a nerve with a lot of people. A lot of people, it bothers them when we have the documents. I mean, I posted the toxicology report, and they're attempting to troll the toxicology report. I mean, how could you troll the toxicology report? I mean, at what point do you think that trolling actually works? I mean, do you not realize that everybody is reading what you're trolling and is walking away that you're a troll? A medical toxicology report says no alcohol and no drugs. What else do you want? You can't troll that document. My favorite part is when they say in the toxicology report 0.0003 THC. Do you know what that means? Maybe you should look into what that means. Well, I could help you. I could actually help you because Evelyn Horton, Christine Warda 7, actually texted me the same thing. And what I find interesting is I'm getting accounts that are fake, that are typing the same thing. So let's go over to my conversation with Christine Warda, aka Evelyn Horton, who's on a body cam. We find her as Amy Hudson. There we go. Hello, beautiful. Trust me, if that was the last piece of me on planet Earth and there was an apocalypse, I would not do it. And if you do find me do it, please, for the love of God, wake me up and tell me, do not do it. Let's see if I can go over to the exhibits. Jesus Christ, we text a lot. This lady does not want to leave me alone. Lady, get a life. You've got a lady that lives all the way in a farm, an old white lady that lives in a farm in North Carolina, and all of a sudden she found herself something to do. All right, so what is THC? 0.00. Let's see. You can actually look this up. All right, so let's go over to exhibits. Beautiful. I think I can zoom in. There we go. That's beautiful. Okay. So in Mustafa's toxicology report, it shows 0.0003. What that means, in conclusion, while a THC level of 0.0003% is very low and unlikely to cause any psychoactive effects, it's important to be aware. Let's see. Where does it talk about hemp? There we go. All right, let's go over to exhibits. There we go. There we go. All right. A THC level of 0.00003% is hemp. Is incredibly low and well within the legal limit for hemp, which is typically defined as having 0.3% or less THC. This extremely low level would not be considered psychoactive and is far below the threshold where hemp products are typically distinguishable from, I don't know if you can say that on TikTok, but rugs. I think that's good. So here it says it's hemp. Hemp is not rugs. Now we go back to Mustafa's toxicology, and it shows blood alcohol non-detected. Blood alcohol non-detected. THC. Let's see, where am I at? THC 0.0003. Now, why is this relevant? I mean, how could you troll the conversation when you found out that Mustafa toxicology report show no alcohol and no drugs? Now, this is relevant because when you sit and watch the dash camera, and this is the dash camera, we posted it, and this dash camera is going viral. I mean, we're finally getting a break with Mustafa's story. The media is lying about the case. The police department is putting out misinformation. It's falsifying the police report. The media is lying about the case. And we're finally getting a break with social media, where the videos that we're putting out are going viral. This is a dash camera from Mustafa's vehicle. Now, in this vehicle, you'll see that Mustafa is passing back and forth between Ned and Dorothy hemp. This is hemp. This cigarette is hemp. It's not rugs, it's hemp. We just watched the toxicology report. And you'll see that Mustafa is passing back and forth. Dorothy would pass him the cigarette, and he would pass the cigarette back and forth to her. I mean, when you watch how she's passing the cigarette, at one point, she feels his finger. I mean, look at her finger. He's going to give her the cigarette back. Now, this is important because they're telling this community that Mustafa and Dorothy are arguing. You give me a relationship where a couple is arguing, but yet they're passing a cigarette back and forth. I mean, if I was arguing with my girlfriend and she was passing me a cigarette, I'm like, I would tell her, like, get the fuck away from me. I would not be taking a cigarette from her. Would you? But yet they're passing a cigarette back and forth. Now, what's interesting, the prosecutor does not want the jury to see this. She doesn't want the jury to see this. As a matter of fact, you're not allowed to see it. If it wasn't for me leaking out these files, you would not be seeing this right now. Now, why is this important? It's important for a couple of reasons. The police department muted the dash camera. The police department muted the dash camera. For the past 2 years, you've heard the prosecutor say this dash camera does not have audio. As a matter of fact, they went all the way on NBC4 and they said that this dash camera does not have audio and they've got themselves a lip reader. Let's pull up the NBC4 and what NBC4 is saying to the community. That this prosecutor got herself a lip reader. If you've been tracking this case, you've heard NBC4 come out and say that the prosecutor have gotten a lip reader. Let's see if I can go to where they're reporting on it. There we go. I think I'm here.
Only on 4 tonight, newly released is months before his car expressions in traffic. She braces for in public.
Piece of video to hold
Cam video granted a
New at 5 tonight, a Prince William County judge has
and determined Fontaine is saying
no.
There we go.
the look the dash cam video captures on Dorothy Fontaine's face is clearly one of fear in the seconds just before the crash. Her 5-year-old daughter, Empress, seated just behind her. The prosecutor telling the judge today a lip reader has analyzed the silent video and determined Fontaine is saying, no, Empress is in the car. As the
Remember what she's talking about. She said a lip reader analyzed the dash camera, and the lip reader is telling this community that Dorsey has said Empress is in the car. Well, would you be disturbed to find out that when you open the discovery, when you open Mustafa's file, you'll find out that this dash camera has audio? That the police department admit that they have the audio to the dash camera. I have a document that I will be releasing that says Officer Zymus admit this dash camera has the audio and they're in possession of the audio. So wait a minute. Why are they getting a lip reader? And they're not just getting a lip reader. They want the jury and the community. I mean, the Commonwealth Attorney did not release the full dash camera. She released what you just saw is 4 seconds of the dash camera, not the whole dash camera. And the reason they're doing that, they mute the dash camera. Now we're finding out they have the audio. They get you a BS lip reader. They seal off the rest of the dash camera. نعم حبيبي الله يسلمك استاذ تعبناك وياي حبيبي انت حبيبي انت نعم حبيبي انت. If I can ask everybody to join us on YouTube, we're playing exhibits from the Mustafa file, sealed documents that we're releasing that show what this police department and prosecutor is doing to Mustafa. What they've done is they sealed off this dash camera, muted this dash camera, and now we're finding out that this dash camera actually has audio. So the question is, why are they getting a lip reader? What they've done is they sealed off the dash camera. They don't want the community to see it. They don't want the jury to see it. And they want to bring this doctor, his name is Dr. Safinsky, a lip reader. They want to put him on the stand, and he wants to tell the jury, I am a doctor. You should listen to what I'm telling you. Dorothy is saying Empress is in the vehicle. But he doesn't want you to see any of the dash camera. Because the minute that you see the rest of the dash camera, you're going to realize that he's taken the dash camera out of context, and his lip reading is nothing more than he's BSing this community. I mean, it's common knowledge that if I get you 5 lip readers, all 5 lip readers are going to say 5 different things. Now, it gets more disturbing when you find out that Dr. Safinsky does not have the full dash camera. He was only given 2 minutes and 8 seconds of this dash camera. But when you watch the full dash camera, you realize what he's lip reading is BS. His BS in the community. Let's watch what I'm talking about.
Why?
This is the dash camera. And let's go over to exhibits. There we go. This is the dash camera that is now going viral on TikTok. Now, in this dash camera, I'm going to fast forward to 5. At 17:33:4, exhibit 592019. Now, at 5, this prosecutor has a lip reader that wants to tell you, let's go over to 5. Okay, let's wait for the number to change to 5. There we go. Okay, right here. Right here. The lip reader is not lip reading what Mustafa is saying. You can clearly see his lips, but this lip reader is hiding behind the air freshener, and he says, oh, because of the air freshener, I can't lip read what Mustafa is saying. That's convenient. Because the minute you lip read what Mustafa is saying, it no longer makes any sense. There has to be an argument back and forth, but Mustafa is barely talking. And you can absolutely see his lips. But this lip reader does not want to lip read Mustafa. He says, I'm lip reading Dorothy. And what he says, that Dorothy is saying, I want to get out of the car. Now, we're going to play this clip. We're going to play this clip in 2 seconds. And what I want you to watch out for is Dorothy reaching for that door? No, Dorothy is not reaching for that door. So when this lip reader is telling us that Dorothy is saying, I want to get out of the car, would you not reach for the door? Reach for the door, the handle? Dorothy is not reaching for the door or the handle. Now, are you telling us that Dorothy wants to get out of the car without her 5-year-old baby? Is that what you're telling us? This mother wants to get out of the vehicle without her 5-year-old baby. Because they're at a traffic stop. And they were there for a while. This traffic stop takes a while for it to turn green. 3 minutes before, they were at 7-Eleven. She had all the time in the world to leave if she wanted to leave. I mean, wait a minute. She's the one that asked him to take her to her mom's anniversary. I mean, the narrative does not make sense anymore. Now, we're going to watch it, and there's more disturbing details in what this lip reader is telling us, where it's absolutely he's taken the whole thing out of context, and he's just BSing us. Let's watch the this portion of the dash camera where the lip reader says, Dorsey says, I want to get out of the car. Let's watch. Remember, she's not reaching for the door. She's not indicating that she wants to leave the car. But Dr. Safinsky wants to tell us that Dorothy, right here, says, I want to get out of the car. Doesn't it look like she's giving him directions? Mustafa's cell phone is hooked up to the JBL speaker in the back. He's not familiar with Dumfries Road. Mind you, he just moved into that apartment with Dorothy. Mustafa's been in a relationship with Dorothy for 3 months. After 2 months, he moved in with her. He's not familiar. We're from Stafford. They're in Dumfries. And she's giving him direction to her mom's anniversary. He doesn't know where her mom's anniversary is. Doesn't it look like she's giving him direction? Watch. They're running late. The cemetery closes at 5 o'clock. But Dr. Stefanski says, Dorothy says, I want to get out of the car. So that was clip 5. At 17:33 seconds for exhibit 59209T. Now, what's disturbing in this clip where Dr. Stefanski says, Dorothy says, I want to get out of the car, that if you literally rewind it 30 seconds back, you'll see that Dorothy is giving Mustafa a cigarette, which we just established that this is hemp. It's not rugs. So wait a minute. You're telling me, Dr. Stefanski, by the way, I'm going to have a field day with Dr. Stefanski. I'm going to email your university. I'm going to make sure I get you this that license that you have as a doctor. I promise you, sir, you're not going to have a license pretty soon. This community is watching what the Commonwealth attorney is sealing and is using a doctor. I mean, imagine you get in a vehicle accident, they cut and mute your dash camera, and then they bring you a doctor who the prosecutor doesn't want the jury, who's supposed to look at the evidence. She doesn't want the jury to look at all the dash camera, because once you do, you're going to realize that Dr. Stefanski is bullshitting you. That literally, if you rewind this dash camera 30 seconds, you're going to see Dorothy is passing a cigarette to Mustafa. Rewind it another 30 seconds. You'll see that Mustafa is passing a cigarette to Dorothy. Back and forth 7 times. Not once, not twice, 7 times. And Dr. Stefanski says, Dorothy says, I want to get out of the car. What do you mean, sir? You're taking this dash camera out of context, and no wonder you don't want the jury to watch this dash camera. Let's rewind it 30 seconds. You see that? She's giving him directions. And Dr. Stefanski wants to tell us 30 seconds later, she says, I want to get out of the car. What are you talking about? It's either she's giving him direction or she wants to get out of the car. It's either they're smoking a cigarette, passing it back and forth, and the way she grabbed that cigarette out of his hand, she feels his hand as she grabbed that cigarette. And for those that are joining us, we just released a document that clearly showed that cigarette is hemp. Mustafa's toxicology report, no rugs, no alcohol. Ma'am, we have a video on a dash camera. If you were to watch the dash camera, I suggest that you do. You can clearly see that Mustafa is telling Dorothy to buckle the baby, and Dorothy goes in and buckles the baby. The baby is buckled in. What you're getting that is from NBC4, when the police department came out and says 5-year-old Empress is not properly buckled. And then they sealed off the dash camera. And now we're watching the dash camera and we're clearly seeing that 5-year-old Empress is buckled. As a matter of fact, the investigator on site say it, the witness on site say it. We have a dash camera where the baby is being buckled. And what's being smoked inside the vehicle is hemp. We have a toxicology report. We released it. It's on the internet. No alcohol, no rugs. What they're passing back and forth is hemp. So no drugs, princess. All right, so we rewind it literally 30 seconds, and we're going to see that Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette. And Dr. Stefanski wants to tell us that Dorothy says, I want to get out of the car. Let's watch. He passes the cigarette back to her. And mind you, this is an emotional day for Dorothy. She's going to her mom's anniversary. And she had asked Mustafa to take her. They're smoking a cigarette, back and forth. But Dr. Jackoff wants to tell us that all of a sudden, Dorothy says, I want to get out of the car. Look at the way she grabs that cigarette from his hands. She feels his finger. So, and then all of a sudden, Dr. Safinsky wants to tell us Dorothy is saying, I want to get out of the car. So that's a 5. See that number in the corner? That's exhibit 59209T. For those that are just joining in, the prosecutor is terrified to literally rewind the dash camera 30 seconds back. Because when you do, the more you rewind, you see that Dorothy and Mustafa are passing a cigarette back and forth 7 times. And we wanted the judge to seal off the dash camera from the jury. I mean, it's already sealed from you. You guys are asleep. I mean, I've never seen a community where the Commonwealth attorney comes out and says, yep, I'm not sharing anything with you. I'm going to do what I please, what I want, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, this is the community that you live in. The community that you live in has a case. Well, every police report is falsified, and the Commonwealth attorney tells you there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, if that's what you're okay with, that's a story. But just because it's not happening to you does not mean it's not going to affect you tomorrow. Because when you have corruption and officials that misuse that badge and uniform, this is a community that you allow to exist. And it will get worse. Promise you that. Now, exhibit 59210-T. And I'll point out when this lip reader is saying that all of a sudden that Dorothy says, why are you fucking with me? Okay. So we just watched that Mustafa and Dorothy are passing a cigarette back and forth 7 times. And all of a sudden, Dr. Safinsky wants to tell us all this is going on. But there's no indication that this is actually happening. As a matter of fact, when you look at Mustafa's not saying anything. Oh, is that why Dr. Safinsky does not want to lip read what Mustafa, and he says he wants to hide behind the air freshener. He says, oh, because of the air freshener, I couldn't read what Mustafa is saying. Well, Mustafa is not saying anything, barely anything. So right here, he wants to say that Dorothy is saying, no, not here. Okay, I'll point it out when we get to it. I mean, clearly, they're running late. She's giving him directions. Here, Dr. Safinsky wants to say, why are you fucking with me? Now, we just clearly saw Dorothy give Mustafa direction. She's giving him direction. And all of a sudden, Dr. Safinsky wants to say, she wants to get out of the car. Why are you fucking with me? And Mustafa's not saying anything. He has his cell phone connected to the GBL speaker. You need to see that speaker in the background. The faster it goes, the louder the music is. And here, where the accident is about to happen. What's disturbing about all this is the camera cuts off before impact. And that's disturbing. I've never seen a camera that cuts off. You see Mustafa's hands. You see Dorsey's hands. The airbag was not deployed. How did the dash camera cut off? Here, Dr. Stravinsky wants to say, Empress is in the vehicle. They want to say that Mustafa does not have a reaction when he clearly is panicked. There are 17 frames missing from inside the vehicle. This camera is cut, edited, and muted. Now, what's disturbing about all this is literally when you rewind the dash camera to what Dr. Stravinsky is telling us, they're passing a cigarette back and forth 7 times. 7 times they pass a cigarette back and forth. But Dr. Stravinsky wants to tell us that Dorsey, well, I want to get out of the car. Why are you fucking with me? Empress is in the car. Come on, brother. Give me a scenario that actually makes sense, especially when they're passing a cigarette back and forth 7 times. Now, what's disturbing is when you find out that this dash camera has audio. When you find out that this dash camera has audio, you begin asking yourself, what the hell is going on here? A lip reader. You're not allowed to see the full dash camera. The jury is not allowed to see the dash camera. And what you realize is they're cherry picking into this case. They're cherry picking evidence. I mean, you've got a case where the Commonwealth attorney is terrified from the evidence. See, this is unique. I mean, this is really unique right here. Right here. If you're not watching anything, take a hard look at how Dorothy grabs the cigarette from Mustafa's hands. She feels his finger as she's taking the cigarette from him. You want to tell me that they don't love each other? You want to tell me that they're arguing? Where are they arguing? But Dr. Jackoff wants to come out of nowhere and say, yep, she says, I want to get out of the car. Oh, why are you fucking with me? Empress is in the car. Oh, but you're going to seal the dash camera. You're going to take it out of the context because once you literally rewind it, 30 seconds, you'll realize this is what's happening. And this is how she takes that cigarette from his hands. Look at their hands. Look how she grabs that cigarette. She feels his finger as she grabbed that cigarette from his hand. You know, the prosecutor stands in court and says, Your Honor, Judge Weimer, Mustafa brother has the file. And he's actively leaking it on the internet. Prosecutor, if you have nothing to hide, you should have no problem me leaking the file on the internet. On that note, I want to thank everybody for being here. Maybe it's a good idea to have questions like 5 minutes before we end the podcast. What do you guys think? Okay, so either I put everybody to sleep or the conversation is so good that everybody is writing notes and taking right. Casey, I love you, man. Missy, Dr. Talar, الله يسلمك حبيبي. شكرا انه انت موجود هنا. نورت اللايف. حياك الله حبيبي. Which one, on YouTube or on TikTok? Oh, you mean the TV? Put the TV behind us? Yeah. No, بعدين احنا يعني شوي نرتب. You know, Dr. Talar has a really good idea, is to upgrade this podcast where we put a TV behind us. But Dr. Talar شوي يعني شوي بدنا نطور البودكاست. جبنا هاي system. Yeah. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, that is not a bad idea. But I just want everybody to be patient with us. There's a lot that goes on before we can actually do a lot of changes. No. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a really good idea. But we'll see. You know, نشوف شلون نرتبها. يعني شغله يعني نحن نشتغل عليها استاذ دكتور. شويه احنا شويه بدنا نطور هاي البودكاست. نعم حبيبي انت. الله يسلمك. الله يسلمك دكتور. حياك الله. تعبناك ويانا. I think what you were doing earlier with the camera is beautiful, because when I played the podcast here and the evidence, everybody on TikTok doesn't see it. So I think it's a really good idea. You guys have questions? What questions do you guys have for me? Regina, hello. Thank you for being here. Yeah. If anybody, Dr. Talar is asking if anybody wants to come up, please send me a request. If you have any questions, feel free to come up and ask me anything. While we wait, we want to thank our sponsors. Dr. Talar, احنا عندنا هنا شرف الشرطي مالتنا المسؤول. الشرطي المسؤول حاسب حاله انه هنا ماكو قانون. شريف جلين هيل. It sounds like it. That's exactly what it sounds like it. But we're gonna do our part, and we're gonna do our part to remind Sheriff Glen Hill. We're gonna do our part to remind Sheriff Glen Hill that there is a First Amendment in our county, that this county, we do have rights, and we're going to remind all the rest of them, like Chief of Police Peter Newsham, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. The federal government is looking into this county, and the best is yet to come. There are files that we're going to be releasing, and we're going to release them in a way where the federal government is going to have all the access they need into the Mustafa file. Dr. Talar, do you want to say anything before we end the podcast? Habibit, Allah Ysalmak, thank you for being here. I look forward. Habibit, Allah Ysalmak. I look forward to coordinating with you. There is a lot of effort that goes behind closed doors to get Mustafa's story to the community. Of course.
I just want to say thank you to you for bringing this to light. Our country is so corrupt, and you're a true patriot. And I love you.
Love you, ma'am. Thank you for being there. And I'll tell you, the best is yet to come, Missy. The best is yet to come. Today we came from federal court. This is a document where we submitted evidence that Elaine Jarvis, the lawyer who was supposed to be there for Mustafa, we all saw Elaine Jarvis file a lawsuit in the Eastern District Court for Mustafa and came out and says, that Mustafa was abused. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Everything okay? I'm just getting some notes.
Mama said check your messages.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. This is really interesting. Now, when you watch the dash camera, what's unique about what the lip reader is saying? The lip reader says three things. The lip reader says, "I want to get out of the car. Why are you fucking with me?" And then Dorothy is seen to be giving Mustafa directions. Which one is it? I mean, does that make sense? It's either you want to get out of the car or you're giving him directions. And that's why they don't want the jury to see the dash camera. They only want 2 minutes. I mean, this is so disturbing. Like, it really boils your blood when you see what they're doing and the game that they're playing. Is they're actively lying about Mustafa. Where are my notes? This part. I mean, this is interesting. So if you look at the number at the top left corner where it says 5. So before 5, they're passing a cigarette 7 times. And then you get to 5. Wait, let me rewind just a little bit. You get to 5. So they're passing a cigarette back and forth. And then you get to 5. And then Dr. Safinsky wants to say, "I want to get out of the car." And now, conveniently, so here's 5 and 5. And this is exhibit 59209T at 173304. Dr. Safinsky wants to tell us that Dorothy says, "I want to get out of the car." Okay, that's interesting. Dorothy doesn't indicate anything. She's not reaching for the door handle. This mother, what? She's going to leave her 5-year-old baby? And 30 seconds, they're passing a cigarette back and forth. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And then you notice they skip over a minute. Supposedly here, she told Mustafa, "I want to get out of the car." Now, earlier, before 5, she's gesturing, giving him directions. Now here, at this part, they skipped over it. They don't want the jury to see it. They don't want anybody to see it because clearly you see Dorothy gesturing to give Mustafa directions. Number 6 in the top right corner, you'll see that they skipped over number 6. So wait a minute. So you're telling me that she just told him, I want to get out of the car. And then she says, oh yeah, by the way, it's this way. Is that what he's telling us? Oh, wait a minute. He wants to seal it. He wants to seal it pretty much.
Well, I said the fire department and stuff that says which way.
You see? Like she's giving him directions.
She wouldn't be in the car in the first place if she didn't want to be with Mustafa around him. I know I wouldn't.
So they skipped over that part. They removed it. And all of a sudden, they jump in. And they was this part, they say that supposedly Dorsey is saying, why do you fuck with me? Why are you fucking with me? So Smoke passed a cigarette back and forth 7 times. All of a sudden, Dorsey supposedly is saying, I want to get out of the car. When she was at 7-Eleven 3 minutes ago, when she's at a red stoplight, okay, I want to get out of the car. So smoke a cigarette 7 times. I want to get out of the car. Skip over a whole minute where she's giving him directions. And now she goes back into, why do you fuck with me? Empress is in the car. I mean, this doesn't even make sense. The only way it would make sense if you chop up the dash camera and you take the whole thing out of context. It's a shit show, I tell you. Welcome to this podcast, but the best is yet to come when your own attorney that filed for Mustafa a civil lawsuit publicly came out. This is a lawyer that came out for Mustafa. She said, my client, you falsified his police report. He lost his family in a tragic vehicle accident. This is a car accident that you falsified the police report. She came out on social media. And she said, you beat my client. I have a video. I'm releasing the video. And then she releases the video. She releases a video where Mustafa is carried unconscious, half naked from one cell into another cell. She releases the video and she calls out Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, Sheriff Glenn Hill, Chief of Police Peter Newsham. And she said, on your watch, Mustafa's police reports are falsified. Mustafa is getting beaten up inside the jail. Mustafa is being carried unconscious. And he's denied medical. He's slowly deteriorating in your county jail on your watch. And she released the video. She says, we are Americans. We have a First Amendment. I am releasing the, and she released the video. And then Commonwealth Amy Ashworth says, I'm coming for your license. Amy Ashworth threatened her to get her license removed, her bar license. And of course, our beautiful, beautiful Elaine Jarvis ran for the hills. And she didn't run for the hills. She tried to grab me by the hair up the hill with her. Well, unfortunately for her, I have no hair. I'm bald as they come. And I said, nope, you're not taking me with you, ma'am. I've got evidence that you're lying. This lawyer, to protect herself, filed an injunction against me. I mean, obviously, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth made a deal with this lawyer to come after the brother that's advocating for his brother. And she's attempting to put a gag order on me. 1 minute. I mean, get this. 1 minute she's filing a lawsuit for Mustafa, advocating for Mustafa, releasing the videos of his abuse. 2 minutes later, she's coming after the brother and attempting to silence the only voice that Mustafa has, his brother. Are you kidding me here? It's so obvious. Commonwealth Amy Ashworth made a deal with her. If you don't want me to go after your license, take care of the brother. And what did Elaine Jarvis do, this lawyer? She filed an injunction in circuit court. And she told the court that I had stolen Mustafa's discovery from her. That I'm the one that released the jail video. Come on, lady. Do you know who you're dealing with? You must not have heard about me. I'm the guy that records everything. I've recorded every interaction I had with Elaine Jarvis. And in those recordings, it shows that I am supplying Elaine Jarvis with the discovery from the criminal case. I mean, it does. You know, Missy, I mean, make this make sense. All you have to do, let's go over to the exhibits. I mean, all you have to do is go over YouTube. I mean, I'm really confused. To be honest with you, I'm confused. Like, you don't know that I record everything? All you have to do is type Ammar al-Jazari. This is the first thing that comes up.
And it's already been publicized. That audio conversation of investigator Trump is on YouTube under Free Mustafa al-Jazari.
I'm releasing everything. I've got it. I'm going to record you. I'm going to put you in my box, and I'm going to ship you off to China.
The other inmates
I've been screaming this for 2 years.
that don't have a family on the outside, their testimonies and their witness statements are on there. The FBI, we gave it to the FBI. We sent it to the department.
I mean, what am I saying here?
We want the videos.
We want the videos.
Families are demanding
I'm releasing the videos.
Superintendent,
I'm
we
going to
call
record you.
request
I'm going to
for the
release it
videos.
on the internet.
You said the superintendent sent us a letter saying we have the videos, but we're not releasing them.
You're going to hire that guy? And then you're going to say
Elected into that position. Every day we're
that he
asking
stole
for
it from me?
obligation. We the people elected.
You don't think I record all my
We're
interactions?
gonna be here every day. We're demanding the videos. It's not your job to cover this up. It's not your job to have a couple of reporters in your pocket to report on a crime and cover.
I mean, lady, you must have not done your homework. When Amy Ashworth told you go after the brother, did she tell you that he's a barefooted monkey that records everything? Been protesting in front of jail barefoot for almost 1.5 years. Lady, I have videos of every interaction that I've had with you. Recordings, videos, audios, everything is documented. So when you sit there and tell in an injunction in circuit court that I stole the material from you, ma'am, you lied, because I have your own video where I'm giving you the discovery for the criminal case. And now she didn't realize, I guess I record everything. And now she shot herself in the leg because a lawyer is an officer of the court. The officer of the court is lying to the court. That's the last thing you want to do. Now, the way she shot herself in the leg is that she filed it in federal court. I mean, this lady was so comfortable with herself that she thought this was a done deal, that she put it in federal court, and she put it on Mustafa's case in federal court, in the Eastern District Court. Now, whatever she said in circuit court in Warren County, Whatever she's telling Amy Ashworth in Prince William County in circuit court, she said it in federal court. Well, now you've got federal prosecutors looking into the lies that you put in court. So now, whatever deal that you had with Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is no longer valid, lady, because Amy Ashworth has federal prosecutors that's breathing down her neck and is asking her to get to the bottom of what the fuck is going on here. Elaine Jarvis, an officer of the court, says, I stole the discovery. And by the way, this is not a joke. You're talking about the police department, evidence.com. You're talking about every time you have a police officer that goes out and about, when he has a body cam, at the end of the shift, he uploads his police body cam to the secured portal. Evidence.com is a police department government portal. They're talking about that portal compromised. Every time you have a sensitive document, it gets uploaded to that portal. Elaine Jarvis made a deal with Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. She told her, I'll shut down the brother for you, and I'm going to file an injunction. She filed it. This lady is so out of it that she filed it in federal court. Now Amy Ashworth cannot protect you, Elaine Jarvis, because she has federal prosecutor breathing down her neck, asking her, wait a minute, Elaine Jarvis says one thing, but the brother has evidence that this lady not only lied, but is actively leaking the rest of the material. I mean, I didn't have access to the jail material. I didn't have access to the CCTV video inside the jail. I only had access to the criminal case in Mustafa's case. I had access to the criminal file, not the civil right file, not the jail file. This lady completes the puzzle for me. And apparently is telling me, I'm going to pretend I fired you. I'm going to pay you under the table. And essentially rewrites the NDA that I had with her. Go out there, podcast, be the best you can. Make sure you tell the community so I can continue to protect your brother. Do you know how horrible that is? To make deals under the table and then go to federal court and says, wait a minute, this 007 stole my file, hacked my system. Now, that's insurance fraud, by the way. We're working on, she contacted her company insurance, and now it's taken out just about $60,000 because the insurance, she has insurance. And supposedly I hacked her system. I mean, what episode? Missy, today I came out of federal court, and this is a document where I got to submit my evidence in federal court. Now Judge Hilton is looking at this. You got prosecutors out of federal court that's looking at Commonwealth Amy Ashworth and looking at Elaine Jarvis and is watching actively a officer of the court lie in federal court. So the best is yet to come. Somebody's going to jail, and I promise you it's not going to be me. Elaine Jarvis, not only that you're not going to have a bar license, ma'am, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. And guess who's going to prosecute you? No one other than the same person that sent a subpoena to Glenn Ford. Amy Ashworth, all of a sudden, wants to do the right thing. Well, ma'am, you're on a good path. You might want to have a scapegoat, just like Elaine Jarvis thought she had herself a scapegoat. She thought herself she can have me as a scapegoat. You might learn a thing or two from Elaine Jarvis. And your scapegoat might just be our Persian princess, the prosecutor, Sarah Sammy. Because guess what, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth? I've got her on body cams communicating actively with the investigators that falsified the police report every step of the way. No, you don't have to take my word for it. You don't even have to subpoena the communication. It will be subpoenaed. But what I'm telling you, all you have to do is zoom in on the body cam when those investigators are calling on their cell phone. Who do you think they're calling every step of the way? They're calling Sarah Sammy. So if you want yourself a scapegoat, ma'am, and come out and say, the police department dropped the ball. I have a Persian prosecutor. And you might want to take this as advice. Never trust Persians. Hate that lady. Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, I swear to God, I'm coming for you. By law, we're going to hold you accountable. You might want to have yourself a scapegoat, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, Prosecutor Sarah Sammy. That's your way out. And you give her to me, put her in federal court, jail. Hey, I'll be okay with you. You put her in jail, you might be able to stay out of jail. On that note, Shelly, Casey, Missy, do you guys want to say anything closing before I end the podcast? Oh, absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely.
People are so afraid of them. But your family, no. Hit us with the raw ones.
You know, I'll tell you, in this country, there is a constitution. We have rights. But I'll tell you one thing. If we give them those rights, we no longer have those rights. And I don't think that's what I don't think people are realizing this. You know, and you know, one thing I want to tell everybody, and I remind everybody, because it's easy to walk away with a specific message out of this podcast. Every time we get on a podcast, we are not attacking the police. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, we go on here and we remind people that the majority of police serve and protect this community. They put their life on the line every single day. Prince William County, Manassas, Stafford, Sheriff Department. Well, some of our sheriff deputies are retired military, are retired service members. They put their life on the line every single day. Most of the jail officers, they put their life on the line and serve this community every single day. What we're doing here, we have specific files, and we're pointing out those officers that engage in police misconduct. I mean, you don't see me tell you every police. No, absolutely not. I tell you, I have files on specific police officers, and this community has to be a safer community. There has to be accountability. And unfortunately, we have a sheriff that's a 7-year-old man, senile, that apparently walks around with a diaper. And there is no accountability under Sheriff Glenn Hill. That's the kind of sheriff we have. There is absolutely no accountability. And the minute that you come out and ask for accountability, he will put you in handcuffs. And this is not my word. He arrested me and put me in handcuffs. It's on video. And when you take him to court, he lies about the situation in court. He lies about the situation. I have the recording inside the proceeding where Sheriff Glenn Hill lies. But Sheriff, you can no longer lie because this community is watching you.
There is no First Amendment here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is Sheriff Glenn Hill. And on that note, he trapped me in a circle. That's what he says. Okay. Well, Pam Bondi is watching you, sir. And she got to hear
the circle
what the jury had to say.
The jury said he was not guilty.
The jury says, and I love that voice. I might just have a crush on Pam Bondi. You know, Evelyn, don't get jealous now. Evelyn Horton. Huh? Look, you know, Evelyn Horton is upset with me. She's already paranoid that I'm going to leave her. Not leaving you, ma'am. Don't worry. Okay. She tells him, but the jury said he's not guilty. That's what Pam Bondi says.
Did you say to him that the First Amendment does not exist?
Pam Bondi, Sheriff Glenn Hill, told me the First Amendment does not exist. Yes, ma'am, he did. He put me in handcuffs. He arrested me. He charged me with a misdemeanor. Trespassed me off the property. I couldn't see my brother for a whole entire year. But I took him to court. And 7 juror, yes, ma'am, said I was not guilty. The best is yet to come. And I'm going to come on all these motherfuckers' faces. And I'll promise you that. On that note, I want to thank everybody for being here. This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cams. Judge Carol Weimer, you're under the federal government microscope. Thank you for being here. Shelly, Missy, everybody, Dr. Talar, thank you for being here.
Wherever the fuck else on the other side.
2 years in a cell, no trial, no voice. Truth buried deep, but we ain't got no choice. They tried to erase her, break them apart, but we scream free Mustafa. From the soul, from the heart. They falsified the paper, twisted every word, turned a car crash to murder, like justice never heard. Dorothy and Empress, angels in the sky. Now they blame a broken man while the real ones lie. A badge and a pen, that's all it took. Signed his fate with a false report and a dirty look.
Wherever the fuck else on the other side. What the fuck that guy doing?
Scream Mustafa, loud through the chains. Justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. Amy Ashworth, playing judge and the jury in a county so dirty, soaked in fury. Police and the courts all in on the plot. They framed an innocent man and left his soul to rot. But his family's out marching, banners held high, while supporters flood timelines, refusing to lie. They want silence, we give them the storm. Truth blazing through like justice reborn. Every post, every chant, every sleepless night is a spark in the dark that's ready to ignite. This ain't just a song, it's a battle cry for every soul locked up while the guilty lie. We free Mustafa, loud through the chains. Justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. 2 years too long, time to rise above. Truth is power when fueled by love. So we'll march, we'll fight, we'll never let go until Mustafa walks free and the whole world knows